What's up, bloggers? Trey and Dum Dum come back at you again.
Yeah, what vlogs?
Kind of what? Does it feel like it's close?
It's close.
You
Yeah,
got
it might
the thing,
be.
you
I
got
got
the
that.
tripod jacked up?
I got the one that the whole leg length closer probably. So is this a synopsis? Or what is this?
What's a synopsis?
Oh,
The
he comes
index.
up with these stupid words. Synopsis.
Or what? Experience. We're gonna do our experience.
Experimentational drugs.
That what you should say?
Legal THC gummies.
Is that what it is? This THC? Is that what they call it?
Cannabis.
That's what's in.
Cannabis. I say that here in Canada.
Somebody told me there's two different kinds of it. The kind that makes you relax and the kind that makes you paranoid.
What?
No. No,
what
that's how
somebody
everybody
said.
reacts. I talked to Clay. Well, talked to a buddy of ours today, and said he has the same effect that it does on me and Garen. But then we talked to 5 people at the gym, and they're like, "Oh, I'm paranoid. Freaking ninjas are chasing me and crap." I don't know. I guess it affects everybody differently. It's the weirdest crap in the world. I know that.
Ninjas weren't chasing me, but
No, so okay. Here's a rundown. So on the BellLife.com.
here's the setup.
Yeah, on the BellLife.com, we did a experimental drug that hasn't been FDA approved yet.
Do you have the box?
No, I don't. It all got
FDA.
confiscated
It's
from us.
sold. It's sold legally. How's it not been FDA approved?
It's not FDA approved yet, though.
Well, how's it sold legally then?
It says it's in the works of being FDA approved.
Oh,
I think it said something like that.
Who confiscated it?
I don't know. It's not here anymore.
nobody.
But we're getting
He's
more.
a tard.
We're getting more for
Have you
guys.
seen this doofus? He kept eating more.
Tell you what, I'll never eat it again.
THC is my
Take it to
drug
the
of
bank.
choice.
I'll never touch it again.
So on the BellLife.com, we took 2 packs apiece, which is 4 gummies. The recommended dosage is a half a pack.
Half a gummy.
No, well, half a pack, which is 1 gummy.
Somebody told me it was a half a gummy.
It is a half a gummy. It says it right on there.
So
You're supposed to cut a gummy in half?
Yeah.
Yes, and it says wait 30 to 45 minutes, then desire more if you want to go to space.
Right.
Go to the moon.
So we didn't do that. We went straight to space.
Never done anything like this, and I thought it was going to be a fake deal, but I didn't think we did. He wasn't lying. He said do 1 pack and that's it.
I'll tell you what, dude. It is rude. I mean, and you know what's really weird about it? I don't feel drunk. I do feel drunk, but I feel like it's. When I say something, I forget that I just said it, and I remember that I said it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm trying to tell you?
I had that.
You know what I'm trying to tell you?
I had that in the basement. I just had that not.
You'll say a story, and then you'll think a minute, and then it just goes away, and then you remember it again. Oh, wait a minute! It's so weird. It's so weird.
What are you finding out?
I'm just seeing what side effects there could be from it.
It's got my whole body shaking.
Once again, do something that never done it before, and we dive right in.
I don't know what would happen if you did 2 more.
Oh, you died.
Oh, good thing we didn't do that. Yeah,
You'd be laying somewhere.
It's actually not bad because it doesn't have me wanting to puke. Do you get a pukey
It's got my
feeling?
heart just
I'm ready
racing.
to rip, Justin.
It's got my heart
But
racing.
when I close my eyes, I have a hard time opening them back up for some reason.
I'll never ever do that crap again. You do mark it down. I'm out. That's no way in the world I'm ever doing that stuff again. No way. I've been so freaked out all my life. It's like I say it.
So we did that and sat here
4 full-size gummies, and you're supposed to eat a half of one.
Sat here for 10
That
minutes.
was probably a bad idea.
Turned the camera off. Started the other
I'd say it was
videos.
probably a bad idea.
And about 40 minutes in, it came on, and it came on strong. But that full video is on TheBellLife.com. And then we were going to do all the aftermath footage of what happened.
See, it didn't hit me that fast. It didn't hit me as fast as it hit them.
We were going to put that on the vlog channel, but we figured the family members are definitely going to want to see this first. So that'll actually go up after the gummy video. So the gummy video is going to go up tomorrow, Wednesday. What is it, August? Is it August right now?
Yeah.
August 2nd.
August 3rd at 7:30. It'll go up on TheBellLife.com. So if you're not a member already, you go there. The link will be in the description
Check it out.
and watch that video because that's the first time we've ever gotten high.
I've never smoked dope in my life. I've never had gummies in my life. I've never done any of that. So yeah, Sunday was a first time experience for me. And
So what was your rundown of it?
man, it took me to a really. I don't like to say that stuff like you hallucinate. These people that come up with all this crap. 'Cause
Yeah, but it's true.
I mean, I've never experienced anything like that in my life ever, in my 49 years on this earth, and why anybody, if you've experienced that once, like I experienced it, would want to do it again, is beyond me. I mean, it's totally beyond me. But I was fine. I ate them and I was fine. It tasted like skunk. Smells just like it tastes, like shit. And I was fine. And we were doing video, and they kind of started giggling, and it's still nothing was really hitting me. And then all of a sudden my feet went numb. Feet just went totally numb.
That's when you start flying.
No, that's when I told Amy that we really screwed up, because I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to do nothing the rest of the day. And then it took me to a dark place that I don't ever want to go back to. I'm serious, man. It was really a weird, and I guess nobody's going to be able to. You can't explain that to anybody unless they've done it and they know what I'm talking about. And
Well, yeah, a lot of people out here have done it. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of guys out the gym are like, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. A buddy of mine told me he was driving home after doing some one time. He passed a couple cops, and he finally just pulled over and started walking. He said because he thought every cop knew that he was high. Well, it wasn't like that with me. Mine was I could focus on everything everybody was saying for about a split second, and I would forget exactly what they just said. It was so weird, and I'm thinking to myself, try to remember, so I would try to remember.
No, I was doing that too.
I couldn't remember what they said, but I felt like I was there in the conversation talking fine, but they'd say it, and then I'd forget it. I'd be like, what are we talking about again? I was just totally out to lunch. Well, then it started affecting me, like I started seeing. And I know people think this is crazy, because I would say you're crazy. You know what I mean? I would say, oh, you're stupid. But I started seeing this black and white road, like a street, like I was going down a road, and I was walking. And it was a concrete road, and it was concrete like buried around it, and there was like devils and demons and stuff coming out at me. Well, then I would snap out of that, and then I was back like right in the room again. So the thing was with me, I was, you chase a high or whatever, like when you're drinking.
Keep that buzz going.
Right, you want to keep the buzz going, but you don't want to go too crazy. Well, I was already to the point of the buzz that I didn't like, and I wanted it to go away. But I couldn't make it go away. So the whole time that I was supposedly high or drunk or whatever I was literally like, it made me feel like really bad. Like I wanted out of it. I kept saying, give me something to get me out of this. And then I thought, well, I'll just go pass
I
out.
didn't think about that. I wonder if we can do that experiment again and get Narcan and give you some Narcan.
That's not Narcan. Doesn't bring you out of dope. That brings you out of heroin, moron.
No, I think
overdose.
I think it brings you out of overdose. I thought, I don't know, man. We try it.
I don't think you
can't overdose.
You can't overdose on pot.
Oh,
I guess you might be able to.
yeah, you get too much.
If you could, I did. I overdosed on it, and
Well, it was 100.
then anyway, it got me all
120
freaking
milligrams.
It got me all freaking worked up, and my heart started beating real fast. And then it says it increases heart rate or whatever. Well, then I started freaking out, and my chest was tingling and this and that. And I said, man, something's wrong. And it wouldn't let up, and it threw me into a panic attack. Is what it did basically, according to the hospital, because I had a somewhat of an allergic reaction of the amount that we took supposedly, and then it just threw me into a panic attack, and I started, which I've never had a panic attack in my life, as far as I know. And if I do get freaked out about something, I can always usually settle myself down. But even throughout trying to settle myself down with that, we were so freaking far out to lunch that every time I try to settle down again, I'd see that road again, like I was going to. It was like I was on my way to hell. So I'll never touch it again, I swear. So whatever, call me whatever, pussy, whatever. That's fine. I'll never touch it again.
So then his mom came over. Garen's mom came over and took his blood pressure, and it was really high. And I think, because he was getting himself so worked up, is obviously, when you're not getting your blood, whatever, you're getting your blood pressure taken, they're like, now calm down, and you always do the opposite of that. You start freaking out because you don't want your blood pressure to
I don't even remember her taking my blood pressure.
Yeah, well, it was high. It was like 195 over something. I can't remember what it was.
I can't even remember that.
And
I don't even remember that.
I do. Justin had to get his blood pressure taken.
Yeah.
All kinds of
Oh,
stuff.
I did take mine, didn't
Yeah,
I?
he had to
Normally they have too small a cuff anyway for me, and it always reads high.
It worked. We had a lot of bandages left, but she said you need to go to the hospital and need to call the ambulance. I'm like, oh crap! And before this, we were downstairs, and talked bullcrap with some buddies, and Amy screamed at me and said, "Trey's freaking out," and I ran back inside, and he grabbed me by both shoulders, both hands like this, and his eyes were huge looking at me, and I can't say the word, but he said, "I'm effing dying." And
I was done, and it scared me to death.
And I didn't know how to take that, because you guys have seen all the years in the past 5 or 6 years or whatever. Normally, if I get to that point when I'm that drunk, I'm puking and sleeping. Is normally what happens to me.
You couldn't sleep at this because it had my anxiety so high that I couldn't sleep. I tried to sit down, I tried to relax, I tried to all the crap I'd normally done, big breaths and settle down and rubbing your face, all the crap I've always read about to try to settle yourself. Nothing worked.
So then we came upstairs and took the blood pressure, and she's like, "He needs to go to the hospital." And I'm like, "Oh man!" And I was high as hell too, and I was coming like, "Well,
man, you don't understand. We weren't high as hell. We were out and gone. We were gone. There was no way of ever retrieving any of it. It was done."
And I'm like, "Man, if he does have a heart attack and dies, then it's my fault because I gave him all these drugs." I'm like, "Well, maybe it's that." But then
you're sitting there thinking, I'm gonna sit here right on YouTube or right on camera and die. You know what I mean? Or right on, it's like this.
Well,
I've never gone to the hospital for something like that.
Well, I kept thinking, because all the movies, because I've never done weed, and I'm like, so it shows some people in movies and scenes and stuff like they get real paranoid. And then it shows other people like completely relaxing out, and it shows other people going and eating all day long. And
you all combo and say, somebody said there's two different kinds of it. There's a kind that makes you paranoid, and there's a kind that makes you. But obviously, whatever we took. And then I got to talking to one of the nurses over there, and he told me straight up, he said he's had people come in that have done that, basically, and taken a supposed gummy that's 20 milligrams or whatever. And he said, come to find out, they got like 50 milligrams in them. He said they don't realize that because they're not regulated when they make the gummies. He says they just squirt it full and they kind of just give it a guess, and they don't know what you've had and what you haven't had.
This is it right here. It's legal cannabis. This. I already say that word. Okay. I don't know if it's focusing on it. That's good enough. It's called Space Gods Legal Cannabis, 60 milligrams of THC plus CBD. So I guess it's 30 milligrams of
each a piece.
Yeah, so it's 30 a piece. So we either did 60 or 120. I don't know how much we did, but we did a lot. And so then she takes Trey to the hospital, and
my whole weekend was effed.
That's kind of what helps with this kind of stuff. If one person's out, normally with the other two can keep going. And that's what I was worried about, that I screwed the whole freaking day up, because if we get behind on filming, then
you'll see the whole day was screwed up.
I don't want to see the video because I couldn't comprehend anything that was going on.
Keep watching it. You'll see the whole day was screwed up.
But Trey gets to the hospital. You got to tell him what you did in the hospital on the check-in line.
No, that's what Lori told me to do.
Oh, I thought you did that.
I went in there and she said, go in there and tell them you're having chest pains. Because we didn't take a squad. She took me to the hospital. So if you don't take a squad, you don't get right in. You got to sit there and do the waiting game and all that crap. There's only like 5 people in the waiting room. And I stood there for probably, I couldn't tell you how long time was going.
Yeah, time was really weird that day.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But I stood there as long as I could. And finally I went up and I said, hey, something's wrong with me. I said, somebody needs to, I said, I need to get back there and see somebody. She said, well, I got to check you in first. And I just stood around looking, and then Lori walked in. So Lori worked there. So then all of a sudden I was getting in. So it didn't matter at that point. They don't care if you're dying or not. I wouldn't say they don't care, but they didn't care if I was dying or not. I guess they see it all the time. People are hallucinating, freaking out, so they just kind of have an idea that you're totally out to lunch. So...
I thought you meant you went in there and started acting goofy.
I thought he started screaming like, I'm having a heart attack. Take me back. Oh, okay.
No, I went up to the front of the line and I said, listen, something's wrong with me. I said, I need to get back and see somebody like immediately. And I didn't say I was having chest pains. That's what you're supposed to say. I didn't say that. So I screwed that up. But then anyway, she came in, so that was over.
So they got him back to the room and did blood work and what else was that?
They put him on EKG first to see if I had a heart attack.
Did that. So basically ran him through everything, all the tests, and that was Sunday about 3 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
I didn't run through any tests on Sunday.
No, you got there about 3 o'clock.
I got there about 3, and then they do a blood draw, and everything was good. My blood pressure was still high, so they were freaking out about that. They did a blood draw, and all my levels were basically perfect. They said nothing's wrong with your with your blood level. You haven't had a heart attack. You blah blah blah. So then I was planning on going home. and then they did a second draw a couple hours later or whatever, and one of my enzymes or something had raised, so they freaked out about that. So they said, we think you ought to stay and do a stress test and all this, that, and the other. So I'm sitting there thinking, even in the goofy state that I was in, I probably should just do it, because I'll never come do it on my own. If they're going to make me do it, then that's better, because I would never make an appointment and do it on my own. So I guess it happened for a reason. I mean, it did nothing was wrong, and
So
blah, blah.
the next day on Monday, he got up and did the stress test and all that stuff, and everything came back 100%, right? Good?
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple, my magnesium level was 1 point low, and they gave me some magnesium, but other than that, whatever they said, everything was perfect. And the cardiologist didn't even come talk to me. So, but those stress tests suck. I don't know if anybody's ever taken those things. Those things aren't that much fun. I didn't enjoy that. But since I work out, I had to stay on that treadmill a little bit longer than the average person. So, and she had that bad boy jacked up like that, and I was still half jacked up, high. And I'm trying to run, and they got an IV stuck in your arm. And you guys that are nurses out there know what I'm talking about. So I had that stuck in my arm. Then I had all these electrodes hooked to me every corner of my body, and then they run it down into a little pack. She puts a fanny pack on you, Garen's gay fanny packs, and she sticks that in there. Yeah, there you go, fanny pack, just like that. So you're wearing that, and you got your little thing there, so wires are going over, then you got a blood pressure cuff on this arm. And this thing keeps going off, it's squeezing the far out of your arm, and they got to add crap to your IV the whole time. So she's up there with a syringe, I'm trying to run, and had her my arm, it was like, goodness sakes. And you're still high. I was still high. We got done at the hospital yesterday, and we went to the gym and worked out, and I promise I was high through the whole friggin' thing.
I probably was too, because I was laughing a lot. Still.
Yeah, I was still messed up through the whole thing. But if that's the way it makes you feel, that's different. Where it took me in the first part of that.
That's what I mean. We need
just a dark place, man.
We need to reinvestigate.
No, I'm not reinvestigating none of that. You stick it up your butt. I'm not touching that crap. No. No, that's God's way of saying, that's no way.
We did 4. I think we might need to start off with like 1.
I don't even start off with any.
You know what I mean?
I'll just drink a beer. You all go ahead. You want to get? I'll get drunk like a normal person, and the stuff like that makes you hallucinate and see friggin' animals and shit jumping around and around. I don't want no part of that.
Well, you might have had too much.
You think?
But we picked him up like at 3:30 and then worked out, and then everything's fine. You're fine, right?
Oh, I feel 100%. Yeah, I mean, I got on the treadmill today and did 90 minutes, 95 minutes, whatever. I mean, I knew, in the back of my head, and I kept saying, you can even ask them, I think I'm having a reaction. Did I not say that?
Well, I think
I went in the front yard and I said, stop. I said, stop, everybody. I said, I think this is just a reaction, and I need to relax. But I'm telling you, that drug kept taking me back to that friggin' place, man, and it would not let me focus at all. It was the weirdest thing I've ever been through in my life. And those of you who've been through it and have seen there and been there and done that, you're thinking, I know what you're talking about. The other ones are thinking, oh, you're stupid, you're nuts, you're crazy. Because if somebody told me that story that you're seeing a road with demons and crap, I'd say, you're cuckoo, dude. And that's exactly how I felt. Because that's never happened to me, ever. And I've been drunker than 10,000 Indians before. And that's never happened, ever. I've never done any other drug supposed that makes you high.
Yeah.
Only thing I've ever done is alcohol, so I can't answer. I've never done heroin or none of that crazy crap. But this stuff, Daddy wants nothing to do with it. No thanks.
I think that was.
And these ass bags were laughing the whole time, and laughing. And I was, dude, I'm not the kind of guy who gets scared. I don't get scared. I was freaking scared. I was like scared. It was like, this is miserable. And as soon as I got to the hospital, that's what I was telling them. Give me something to get me out of this. Get me back to normal. Or knock me out. Whatever. We have to put an IV in to do that. And I knew if I put an IV in, I was going to be there all night. I just knew it. I said, I don't want an IV. So they gave me some orals, and it didn't do worth a crap. It didn't bring me out of the crazy part yet. And then finally, they put me on IV, and they gave me the stuff, and it got me back down to where I was, at least I could see the earth. You know what I mean?
It did. So Trey's reaction to it was
horrible.
That and that extreme paranoia. It really, that was definitely not him. So that was.
Garen had done it before.
Extreme paranoia.
Garen had done it before, so he told us you can do too much, and we're like, I gotta do too much.
Oh yeah, let's bring that back up. You should plug that video to right here. It's me saying there's a threshold. You can go over the top.
I just told him that ass bag.
Oh, we're definitely going. We're gonna go. We're gonna do 8.
You go right ahead. I'll sit right here with my feet up, watching with a pop. I want to watch. Y'all can take it. Eat 10 of them if you want to. I ain't eating
when
every
I
night.
did it, I was drinking and it did it, and it had me starting to spin. Like the whole room was spinning, and that's what you don't want.
Yeah, but you were drinking shots of tequila, you told us.
I know, but the whole room starts spinning, and that's when it gets you, and you start throwing up.
I can't imagine adding alcohol to it. I can't even imagine doing
We
that.
should test it.
I can't even imagine doing that. So, y'all go ahead and test it. I'll
Yesterday-
keep alcohol.
Garen, what was your experience from it?
Yesterday, right before I left, it started spinning on me a little bit, and I just had to keep my eyes shut. But right when I opened my eyes, I felt like I just stopped spinning, and my whole head would jerk.
Well, whatever we did, even no matter what he says, he couldn't work yesterday. He couldn't work, couldn't drive. So it definitely screwed every one of us up bad. I mean, me the worst, obviously. But I've just never had anything ever in my life take control of me like that. I mean, the only thing that ever really is hard for me to do is eating. Like I have an issue with eating. Like I don't know when to stop, and I like to eat. But that thing, man, that had full control of me. Like I had no control at all. I could not settle myself down. I couldn't do it. So.
What was your experience, Garen?
The same as you, running around here all giddy and happy. And then, son, I don't even know what time it was, but I hit a concrete wall, and I was done. I was tired.
But normally when we're doing drinking videos, that gets him like. My reaction to it was 20 minutes in or whatever doing videos, and I stood up and I felt drunk, and my feet were tingling and I felt light. I guess like my whole body weight was gone or something. And then it hit me and I was wasted, like Bahama Mamas or the 9 Loco videos. I felt that drunk, but
you don't feel bad.
with no side effects. My stomach wasn't hurting.
Yeah, I felt
hurting.
horrible. I felt like my emotions were just making me crazy.
I didn't have to puke. I felt great. It was unbelievable. And my mind wasn't clear. I was forgetting stuff, and people were saying stuff, and everything was extremely funny. So in those videos, I would snap out of it because then I would think he was actually dying for a second, and then I would go back to the laughing.
It takes you in and out, like you're in the room, you're out of the room, you're in the room, you're out. It did that to me the whole time.
And then I don't know how long it was because time was messed up that day. It felt like forever. It was like 3 hours later. I was standing up and I started getting real heavy. I'm like, man, it's like somebody's putting weight on my back or something. Like I had a weight bar on my back. And I'm like, what in the world? And I'm like, I'm coming down. I'm coming down off of it.
I need a little extra kick.
Yeah.
You this idiot.
I popped another one, and my feet started tingling again. I started going back up. What I'm getting at here is I'm not exactly a pothead, but that is my drug of choice right there. I love it. I could be a drug head.
No way I could do that ever. I'm glad it reminded me that I don't
You
want
should
to
have
do it.
seen Amy try to get that thing in his mouth. He put a whole pack in his mouth. She ended up getting one back out of his
I
mouth.
swallowed the other one real quick.
I just need a little extra kick.
I had all the kick I needed.
But I mean, I'm not talking like being addicted to it, but I prefer that over going and drinking 9 or 10 beers. I'd rather just eat one of those and drink pop and party.
Drink pop and party.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested one bit. So, and everybody out there that knows what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. The ones of you that don't, sorry.
But that's what we're.
I talked to 3 guys at the gym yesterday, and they said they'll never touch it again. It's did the same thing to them, freaked them out. Like paranoid, like freaks them out. I'm thinking to myself, why in the world would you ever want to do that? And I even asked that nurse at the hospital, I said, people come in, with paranoia like that. She said, yeah, people just they do it. I mean, that takes you to other drugs, obviously. You go from dope to other stuff, but I can't even imagine. I mean, goodness sakes, it made 0 sense to me why anybody would ever want to go through that.
If it has that effect on you, yeah. I mean, I don't want to be scared.
It literally had me freaked out.
I wouldn't. I was completely. I mean,
I don't get freaked out a whole lot.
I think
either,
we
man.
need to back the dosage down a little bit. Like have a gummy, see what it does.
I don't want no more of it, Justin, at all. I don't want a damn bit of it. You all go ahead and knock yourselves out. I mean, like I said, I'll have a beer.
We still got to take a drug test.
Oh yeah, no. For how long is it in your system for?
I don't know how long weed is. Probably a week or 2 or something. I don't know.
I have no clue on
I
that.
don't know how long it is in your system. I don't know. It's something was real about it. I don't know what part was.
We got a lot of it in our
Something was
system.
real about it? Yeah, something was real about it.
Something was real about it. I don't know what it was. I don't know how it can be legal like that to sell it.
That was God's way of telling me, you don't want no part of this. I thank you, buddy. I don't want no part of it.
No, I loved it, but
I loved it.
Amy's gonna put some different sprinkle some different clips in there of maybe a little bit of Trey at the hospital, and then
Didn't have much of me at the hospital. Just me filming that. I wasn't allowed to film. I asked
Lord
him.
filmed you.
Oh,
Yeah. So there'll be a little bit of footage of that, and then a little footage of me and Garen. But for the full effect, go to TheBellLife.com and check it out. And that was a first for us. So we've
First and last, right here.
maybe that was just
Like I said, go ahead. I'll tell you what. If I put my hand out there and you smash my hand with a finger, or you smash my finger with a hammer, I'm not doing it again.
never
No.
never again.
If you put your hand out there and I smash your finger with a hammer, you
What
gonna
if
do
we
it again?
get a bowl and smoke a bowl of weed or something?
What?
For a video.
What are you talking about? I'm not
This is
smoking nothing, clown.
This is BellLife.com. We're doing crazy stuff.
You go right ahead and do it. I'll sit and watch. You can count me out of that.
But hope you all liked the video.
It says right on the pack too, may increase heart rate. It definitely. Justin was 133.
134 years is 122.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
then-
134 is after like I don't know, doing 12 or 15 reps or something pretty hard working out. Your heart rate's to get to that high anyways. Mine is.
Man, I'll tell you what, it was. I think my target heart rate yesterday on that treadmill was like 146. So she wanted my heart rate at 146.
Well, that's high.
Yeah, before I was allowed to get off that treadmill.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So you were 20 points higher doing that, or 26 points higher.
I mean, I wasn't. It just Justin. I think the thing was that it had me into a
Freaked out, yeah.
panic attacks. What it did.
Maybe we need to try the stuff. Maybe you all leave a comment down below where the good stuff is. It just relaxes you.
Yeah, give me a comment down below where the stuff that really makes you want to shoot yourself. I want the stuff that makes me want to put a pistol in my mouth. You know what I mean? Give me that. That sounds like a good time. What are you, drunk?
Well, that's out. See, alcohol does that. Well, it doesn't.
Alcohol doesn't. Alcohol
doesn't
is a
depress
depressant.
me. It just makes me tired, and I have to drink through the tiredness. And then once I get the buzz, then I'm good.
Oh. Drink.
The thing with alcohol is when you know the drunk feeling. You know the drunk feeling.
Yeah.
And I know there's mean drunks and nice drunks, but being drunk to me makes me laugh and act silly, and I like that. And that's exactly what I was chasing with the thing, the pot or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like I was chasing it, and it would not let me get there. It kept reminding me of like dark stuff in my life, and as weird as that sounds, and as goofy as that sounds, that's exactly what it was doing to me. So I'm sitting there trying to chase the drunk, and it would bring me back to that road with the demons, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it had me freaked the F out. I mean, it really did. And like I said, I've said it twice now, but it's people that've been there.
It's actually
know what
pretty
I'm talking
cool that
about.
he experienced that because he's the last person in the world. Like if we were saying that, he would be all.
I'd
over.
say you're crazy.
Yeah, it'd be all
I'd
over.
say you're nuts. You're stupid. That doesn't happen because it does. Nothing ever happened to me like that in my life.
Now it
Just
is.
like believing in ghosts. When it happens to me, I'll tell you, I believe in ghosts. You know, obviously that was an altered state of mind, so that there's obviously not demons and stuff. But whatever the deal was with that,
And then the next day I woke up. I got up to pee, and my stomach was hurt a little bit, and I couldn't figure that out. And I felt like if stomach was hurt, almost like the alcohol craps the day after. I'm like, oh man. And then I found out we ate a lot. So I mean,
I didn't eat jack crap.
yeah, we ate a lot.
Had to go to the hospital with wires all tight to me, IV in my arm, and try to sleep in a bed that's made for somebody smaller than Garrett. It was miserable. The accommodation sucked.
We haven't received that bill yet. So
Yeah,
if you
I'll bet
can-
you.
if you
They're
guys
not
can-
going to act like they sucked though with the price tag of it. I guarantee that.
But thanks a ton for all your guys' support. Subscribe here. Subscribe to our new channel, the
And
BellLife.
don't do drugs.
The BellLife Bang. Subscribe to Ask the BellLife. And then, of course, if you want to see the video, go to TheBellLife.com. All the links will be in the description.
Have a great day.
See you on the
Thank
next
you.
one.